Hello, I'm James Mills and you're watching CATEX-TV, broadcasting live from Princeton, New Jersey. The time is currently 11:30 a.m. in New York, 4:30 p.m. in London and 12:30 p.m. in Hamilton, Bermuda. Today I'll be standing in for Frank Fortunato, who was unfortunately called out of the office at last minute. We have no breaking news today, so we will go straight to our main news. Munich Re reported a drop in consolidated profits of more than 61% this year and said that it is making no forecasts for the future because of the current financial climate. Full-year consolidated profit, as already reported, dropped to 1.5 billion euros from 3.9 billion the previous year. This was mainly because of write-downs of 7.2 billion euros, of which 4.9 billion were made on equity portfolios. However, write-ups meant that investment numbers written down was 700 million for the year. Despite the drop in profits, Nicholas von Bomhard, chairman of the board of management, said that Munich Re had, and quote, mastered the crisis comparatively well. However, he admitted that the target of 18 euros earnings per share for 2010 was no longer realistic. He said the focus is on profitable development rather than on short-term maximization of profits. Interest rates for low-risk investments are at a historical low level. We would not be acting in the interests of our shareholders if we tried to compensate for low returns with higher risk tolerance. And continuing with Munich Re, the reinsurer Munich Re isn't actively bidding for assets of AIG that are being put on the market, CEO Nicholas von Barnhead said on Tuesday. Bidding would only make sense after the assets had been unbundled into smaller units and if it made strategic sense, von Bomhard said at the company's annual earnings press conference. Stock futures point to bounce as Geithner waited. Nikkei falls 0.7%. after nearing 26-year low on banks. More businesses and investing news continues. Munich Re would consider buying troubled units from AIG if they were small enough, as we've just said. This was actually told to Reuters. AIG, which this week had to be bailed out for a third time by the US government after reporting a record $61.7 billion quarterly loss, has put chunks of its empire up for sale, including 2 large packages, von Barnhard told Reuters TV in an interview, declining to name the units. We think these packages were too big in view of the financing capacity of possible bidders. Among them, said von Barnhard, we would be in the process again if the packets get smaller, if single companies are being offered, he added. Munich Re, the world's largest reinsurer, has said it is looking to acquire primary insurance business in Eastern Europe or Asia, mainly life insurance. Jardine Lloyd Thompson said that pre-tax profits fell 3% to £92.8 million sterling from £95.2 million in 2007. Underlying trading profit grew 23% to £76.2 million sterling, up from £62 million the year before. These results once again demonstrate JLT's excellent operational performance. The strong growth across all of our business underlines the progress we have made as a group during the past 3 years, said Dominic Burke, JLT's chief executive. The group enters 2009 in good shape, and this is demonstrated by the results we've been reporting for 2008. The current economic outlook remains difficult, but assuming no material deterioration from here, we would expect JLT to make further progress in 2009. Profits at JLT Re, JLT's reinsurance unit, grew 54% to 7.1 million from 4.6 million the year before. In banking news, UBS announced another 2,000 investment banking job cuts this month. Swiss banking giant UBS has named Oswald Grubel, who masterminded a turnaround at its national rival Credit Suisse, as its new chief executive, following the resignation of Michel Rona. The bank hopes that Rona's departure, after only 18 months as CEO, will placate angry investors who have seen the company's shares fall 85% during Rona's time in office. The appointment comes at a difficult time for UBS, which has made more write-downs during the credit crisis than any other European bank, reported the biggest loss in Swiss history in 2008, and has thousands of staff redundant. Last week, the bank agreed to disclose client names and pay $780 million fine to settle criminal charges in a tax fraud investigation in the United States. Some financial analysts fear the case could threaten the bank's security laws and underpin Switzerland's wealth management industry. And now we'll go to a commercial break and a word from our sponsors. How long I got? At least 8 people were killed Monday and 22 others were missing after a landslide buried a tiny remote Peruvian mining village, the manager of a local mining company said. "We have found 8 bodies and are searching for 22 others who are missing," Carlos Martin, manager and legal advisor to the mine, told RPP radio station. The landslide, which took place between 6 and 7 a.m. local time, has buried everything in its path. There is no shelter. The whole town is covered with rocks, he said. The village has only a small population of about 50 people, most of them miners, and is located in a remote part of a Peruvian district, about 1,300 kilometers southeast of the capital Lima. In Greece, an earthquake has struck, and it struck the southeast